How's it going, YouTube, and welcome back to the Grid. Now I'm your host, Carfight Grid. Today we have an exciting match for you guys. Today we have Dan Debbie versus Undead, and this is the Dan Debbie. Actually, this is the purple burn deck that I've actually been working on for quite a bit. It's a lot of fun, pretty cheap except for the promo Dan Debbie, which you don't necessarily have to run, but does help a lot. And then the Undead is actually a pretty fun budget deck as well, so if you guys do want to see a deck profile on that, just let me know. And it looks like we're seeing Undead ends up starting off, goes into Gabu, and then goes into the level 4 that can digivolve from drop, end up hatching, digivolving into Impmon, and then into Devimon for 1, and then I end up playing the map for 2. And then he ends up playing the Ayamako, send me to 3. I promote, ends up digivolving into Lady Debbie, and then I'm gonna go ahead and discard, I believe, Dan Debbie, and Damon the blocker. So it looks like here I end up just hard playing the Devimon to trash the top 2, end up getting the Mako and Lady Debbie. He ends up digivolving into Galmon, and then playing the Trackmon, getting a 1 off it, I believe, and ends up digivolving for 2, leaves me at 2, which is nice. I finally get that promo Devimon, which is awesome. End up going into Eismon, does not delete, which is great. You know, that Eismon jamming feeling, you know, it's always the best. I just end up playing the Miss Mary boost, which is nice, but I do not get what I want to mill, which is horrible, but it is what it is. He ends up proing the Gabumon, and I believe he's not. I believe it was just one more draw that I forgot. He ends up swinging, trash the top card. It's Black Automon, hits into my Eismon, and ends up trashing the top 3 cards of his deck. So he can add that back, which is super nice. And I think he's about to do it again. I think he's just about to go into the dog again, digivolve on top of Gabumon. Yep, he is for 2. Now he's at 1, swinging again, and it gets deleted because he runs into Lady Devimon, which is I'm happy with that, just because it's building up my count into my trash with the Devimon name. And now he ends up getting the Tamer back, which is nice. Plays it for 2, chokes me at 1, which is okay. I don't really mind it too much, just because I have the Miss Mary boost. And also, if I swing with Eismon right now, and then if he gets deleted, then I can get a memory off of Matt. I end up playing another map for 2, which is nice. The more the merrier. End up digivolving for 1 into the blocker, swing with Eismon, finally gets deleted, which is awesome. Draw 3, discard 2. I have 5 as my count right now in the trash with the Devimon name. It's like to keep track. I discard 2 Dan Debbies, so now I have the 7. Now I don't have to count anymore, so I'm good to go. Suspend those mats to get 2 memory, feels good. Now I just have to count my drop up, and I believe I'm at like 13. And right now, I think I'm just contemplating. I end up digivolving into Dan Debbie, and then passing over to my opponent at 2, but he should be at 3, I believe, because Ayamako is a set to 3 tamer. Goes into Gabumon, and right now he's just having a hard time to just digivolve from trash or to do anything. Oh, okay. He gets into the deck store Greymon, digivolving for 4, but ends up discarding so he can gain the memory. Swings Ayamako, trash the top card. Ends up running into my Miss Memory boost, and since Dan Debbie's on the field, now he has to trash the security every time he swings at mine. It's a very nice feeling. He digivolves for 5, I believe. Ends up playing the Gazimon, which Gazimon actually hurts the deck a lot, so I did not like that whatsoever. So right now just seeing what do I feel like doing. I think I end up suiciding. Yeah, I end up suiciding Dan Debbie into his level 6 because level 6 gives them a lot of value. End up suspending 2 of those mats to gain 2 more memory, so now I'm at 6. Counting my drop up, which it looks like to be around 19, I believe. And now end up just hard playing Digimon and then Digivolving for 1 into another blocker. So when these guys pop, I'm gonna get some Debbys out, which is really nice. End up playing Digimon. Check the top 3 for a purple tamer and then trash a purple Digimon. So that was also nice too. End up getting the Ayamako. He promotes the Goblimon, Digivolving for 2 into his level 4 and ends up Digivolving for 3 until his level 5, which I believe he's been missing for a while. That's the good one too, which you can trash a card from your hand when you swing. End up swinging with Devimon and then suspend both of the mats to gain 2 memory. So now those mats just paid for this Devimon swinging. Yep, and then just do it again and that's game. And Devimon Debbie takes game 1, which is super nice. And as you can see too, like I had those blockers set up and ready with the inherit skill when they get deleted to bring out Debbie. So it's just more pressure on my opponent. Even if he deletes my blockers, if he doesn't finish me off that turn, he's gonna most likely have no security left. So that was really nice to have. And I believe he ends up deciding to go first. He ends up mulling, and then he goes into Goblimon and then plays the tamer for 2, which that tamer is amazing because you can just, I believe it's, you delete one of your other Digimon. When you go into a level 6, it gets the evolution cost gets reduced by 3. I play an Ayamako because I don't want to be choked this game. I ended up Digivolving the promo Devimon and raising, which you do want to do, but not too soon in the game, so it's kind of a sucky feeling. He ends up just hard playing the level 5, which is for 7 memory, so it shows how good his hand's going right now. But right now I am kind of terrified because if he goes into level 6, I don't believe I have much in my hand to do to handle it. I end up going into Aizmon and playing the mat. I swing with Aizmon, he gets deleted, which is a nice effect. Oh, I forgot to do the Ayamako so I can get the draw off of my Demimero. And then now Aizmon is going to go ahead and pop off by drawing 3, discarding 2. And right now I'm discarding Lady Debbie and most likely another card with Devimon in its name is what I try to go for a lot. Which I do end up getting the blocker, and then I get 1 more memory from Matt. And then I just go ahead and hard play Devimon just to get the trash, and end up trashing the Lady Debbie. So I already have 4 Devimons in his name in my trash, which is really nice. And then I'm choking him at 1 as well, so that's awesome. I'm just hoping he doesn't go into level 6. He does go into Dracmon to raising. And he goes into level 6, and that's like my worst case scenario right now because I am not prepared for it. Ends up popping the Goblimon, so the level 6 ends up I think it ends up being free just because the level 5 reduces the evolution cost by 1, and then the tamer reduced it by 3, and it's a 4 evolution cost. So yeah, he ends up playing Goblimon, Digivolving on top of Goblimon from trash, and then ends up Digivolving into Dexter Gray from hand, and yeah, he's coming back, and it's not looking good for me because I have only 5 Devimons in trash, and my board state does not look too good. I have those Death Claws in hands that are not doing me any justice right now just because he has a level 5 and a level 6 on board. End up Digivolving into Lady Debbie for 1. Just get those discard 2, draw 2, discard 2. And I end up discarding a Death Claw and a Debbie. I need to discard a Death Claw just because it's really not helping me out right now. So now it's at his turn. He's at 1. But then he can also Digivolve and use a Tamer to reduce for 3, so which sucks. He ends up hitting to one of the promo Devimons. Dead Devimons. Then he ends up Digivolving, which sucks for me. Ends up Digivolving into another level 6. I believe it's Golfmon. And it only costed him 1 memory because he deleted the Jackmon. And we're just doing the discarding our hands down to 5, I believe. Ends up unsuspending, then swinging again. Swinging hits my Miss Mary boost, hit a Devimon and Devimon and security. Plays a Jackmon for 3. So yeah, my hand is my situation right now is looking pretty scary. Even though I have a Miss Memory boost, I have Ayamako and a Mat, it's not looking too good for me because he has 2 level 6s out, and one of them keeps on bringing back a freaking level 3, or it keeps on Digivolving too. I end up going into Beelzemon, which is awesome. So I end up popping the Jackmon with a Digivolving effect, and then I believe I ended up passing turn just because. Oh, I ended up Digivolving into the blocker. He ends up swinging. I believe I end up blocking. And I'm just doing the on deletion effect of Demimero real quick. And then swings one more time. And basically I have only 1 more turn to win unless I bring out another blocker. But then if I bring out another blocker, I have to take care of his board, and it's not looking too good for me. And he has a Miss Memory boost too, so even if I choke him, he can set himself up to 3. And yeah, that is game. Looked at my hand, couldn't really do much, so it was all bad. And yeah, Undead takes game 2. Like I said, that promo Demi Devimon that brings out Dan Debbie from trash, you really don't want to bring that out too soon, just because if you do, it's really not going to do much for you. But besides accelerate your count and your trash. Hatching, but I end up keeping this weird hand where I don't have no level 3s, but I have Eismon. So I'm just having that Eismon carry my whole hand right now. He ends up going to Jackmon, trashing the level 5, and then sending the Jack right to the bottom deck. I end up swinging with Eismon. Thank the Lord does not have jamming, so now I can discard 2 Den Devies, and I can kind of tell you about my hand. But besides that, I believe my hand's actually not too bad. I end up Digivolving into Entmon and raising, and play Ayamako for 4. So at least I don't get choked, and I have a lot of memory to work with on my turn, since yeah, I put a lot riding on that Eismon, and it ended up paying off, which is nice, because my hand was clogged with 2 10 debuts, and you really don't want that. He ends up swinging with the level 4, but Digivolving into the level 5, which is nice. This deck can just Digivolve from trash. It's really, really nice. He ends up hitting into Devimon, and then ends up just going to Dextormon. And promote the Entmon, Digivolve for 2 into the Devimon that has Retaliation, which is actually a really nice card because it takes care of a lot of problems. Just because a lot of people don't really see it too much, and then they're like, oh, that has Retaliation. And yep, I end up swinging into it, and then I end up trashing the top card of my deck, which was the option card, I believe, the Slinger, and end up gaining memory. So that worked out really nice for me. He does have that level 4 still, or the Dextormon with the Dracomon, yeah. And Dracomon's inherent skill is to Digivolve from trash as well, yeah. So I know that at least kind of cleared up the board a little bit, but it's not looking too good. He ends up swinging so he can Digivolve into level 5. Ends up hitting into Turn from Darkness, which is actually not a bad card for me, because I end up Digivolving for 1 to go into the blocker. And so now I just need to fill in my drop a little bit more with, I believe, 3 more or 1 more Digimon in its name, because I believe the stack counts itself too when it gets deleted. And go into Lady Devi, and that kind of seals, that kind of pits Devimon's inherit skill live now, which is awesome. And plus I'm choking him at 1. I'm just hoping he doesn't digivolve until level 6, but even if he does, I can just I can also return from darkness and get the Devimon within retaliation back to my hand just to get rid of it. Or there's a few ways. As long as I can get into my deck a bit, then it's not too bad. Yeah, he ends up swinging with the level 5, discarding the level 6 to digivolve into the level 6. And then the level 6 ends up bringing Dracmon so he can get off his search from the top 5. He ends up hitting into Lady Devi into security. And I believe he's debating what to digivolve from trash. Yeah, he ends up going to the deck store one. And I believe he ends up giving, I don't know, I think he gives Dracomon the blocker. Or no, he ends up giving Dex the blocker ability, yeah. And then I end up just doing Deathclaw so I can go ahead and bring out Devi. And then I go into Devimon and then just swing into the level 6, which feels nice. Get the mill, end up milling Entmon, get 3 more mills off of that. And then Demimero, which is on deletion, draw 1, trash 1. And now all he has left on the field is just a Dracomon, which feels so nice right now, clearing up that board. Because once you clear up that board and you stabilize the board and you bring out a Devi, that's when it's smooth sailing. And that's what I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling a huge sign of relief playing a Matt, sending him to 2, not too much memory. And the Matt's put in so much work in this deck too, as you can see. And he ends up digivolving into Dracmon into Raising, ends up playing Ayamako and Alice, I believe. End up swinging with Devi. Devi ends up getting deleted, but forgot to do the mill. I did the mill to play the Entmon. I milled Beelzemon and then end up milling Beelzemon to play Entmon from trash. Always forget that. Always before the. I always say it, but I forget to do it whenever I swing. And I'm like, okay, I am Mako, but I was like, we always check the security. End up searching the top 4 with Entmon skill. Get an I am Mako. Rearrange that real quick. And so right now, it's not having Devi on the field does kind of suck, but it's okay because at least I have Entmon. So I digivolve for 1 to go into the blocker Devimon. And then I end up playing the promo for 3 and playing Jackraid for probably 2 memory, yeah. Because it looks like I have 25 there. End up playing an Eismon on top of that and return to darkness. So I can just go ahead and pop the Eismon to get the draw and also to proc out the Devimon's inherit skill. And return the Lady Devi and the Beelzemon, so I can go into Beelzemon if I need to clear out any problem Digimon that he wants to bring out in a bit. So now Devi's back and he's live, so that feels good. And I also have a blocker. Right now I'm just counting. I believe I'm at 27, it looks like, or 20 or 28. So I'm pretty close to 30, which feels nice. And I end up just digivolving into Lady Devimon, drawing 2, end up drawing to Jackraid, which feels nice, discarding Devi and a Matt. And I believe that puts me to at least 30. No, I guess 29. But yeah, I end up digivolving for 3 because he's going to get set to 3 anyways. Swings to Dracmon, but then he has to trash the top card, which was an Alice. Ends up digivolving for 2 and raising. I believe he's just going to keep everything in raising until he doesn't want me to pop it. So yeah, keeping it raising is not a bad idea. Ends up going to level 5. Passes me over to 3. Swing with Dandevi. Hits into an Iron Mako, which is fine as long as Dandevi's still alive. I feel good. I swing into Lady Lady Debbie swings into a Miss Memory Boost, so that's great. End up playing the promo Digimon, and then end up playing the Jack Raid for 3 because I'm at 30 now. And then digivolving into Digimon for 1. The blocker, which feels nice, so even if he swings at me, he still has to deal with the blocker. And then if he tries to clear my board, well, Dandevi's going to come from that blocker, so he still has to clear out 3 Digimon. So right now, this is basically game, even though I only have like 5 cards in my deck, I believe. Because I don't believe there's any way that this deck can swing multiple times, only Golfmon. But as long as I have the blocker, I feel good. So I end up hard playing the Devimon. Yeah, Devimon, and end up playing another one. So I'm just swarming the board just in case if he wants to start popping everything. So he has all the memory world, but I only have 1 blocker. So if he can get through this, then that is game for me. So he ends up popping the Miss Memory Boost, digivolving, first trashing the top 2 with Iron Mako. And now he's gonna, he drew 1 from Demi Maramon's inherent skill. Ends up digivolving into the level 6, which one's gonna be, because there's a few in there that he can go into. And right now I think he's just contemplating, trying to see if there's like any way that he can go and get game right now. He ends up, I don't believe he can go into Golfmon, because Golfmon would be like the only way that he can actually get the win. Not even that, because I still have my blocker, so he still has to get rid of my blocker. Ends up going to that level 6, and then plays Dracmon from the trash, ends up getting the top 3. End up blocking, and then I play Dandevi for my trash. He goes in digivolves with Gatomon, but yeah, it's still going to be game. But Gatomon digivolves from trash into Dextor Greymon, and yeah, it's ends up popping the promo Devimon, and yep, passes turn over, and I just swing Dandevi, and that's game. And if you guys like this, please like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel so much. And until I see you next time, peace.